Hey everyone, thanks for joining us for Politically Incorrect Knitters. I'm Deplorable Knitter, the lovely Ann Pinkova, and as you can see, we are no longer together. We are back in the snow. It is snowing here. It's been snowing for days. I don't know about you, Ann, but it's been terrible. So
I know, just letting the cold hit you in the face again is...
Yeah, no, we've had such a bad storm coming through. I've had a migraine for 2 days. So I know we got other things to talk about, but I don't know. The thing just is something funny. But people in the comments have told me before to take magnesium for migraines. How much do you take? Like, what's that about? Tell me again.
You could give us that sweet, medical advice.
No,
not by physician, that would.
It's one of those things, just if it works, sometimes these anecdotal things work for people. So, hey, I'm interested. But yeah, hey, thanks for joining us. We're back to our almost regularly scheduled 1/4 to 1/2 teaspoon of powdered magnesium. I don't have that, but I'll have to look. It'll explode in soda. Well, thank you, Amy.
Important facts.
Yeah, because this one's been bad. I had to actually take my anti-nausea medicine, which was for motion sickness. That's why I had it, but that's how it's been. So, all right. Anyway, hey, thanks for joining us, Politically Incorrect Knitters. Anne has stuff to talk about, so hey.
We do. And this episode is sponsored by Lynn of Chicken Lady Fiber Arts. You can go to chickenladyfiberarts.com and get 20% off your order of $50 or more with our code I'm going to get it wrong, PIK Crispy. PIK Crispy is our code. Get money off, beautiful yarns. Ta-da. She's got a lovely selection. These are, we got Eastern Bluebird and Sagebrush, and she may not have this one anymore. Western Meadowlark. Very lovely together. And yes, and 5% goes to Let Them Live this month. And this month's giveaway is Mountain Bluebird with the fingering sock set. So comment below once the video is finished for a chance at that, or just go to chickenladyfiberarts.com and get your own set because it's absolutely beautiful. And we also have, there we go.
Hey, I can still do some things.
There you go. And our winners for January, first for the yarn, the meh, which I love. Actually, hang on. Yeah, that's good. Anyways, the winners of the meh is Miss Elizabeth JDY Knits. So if you could send me your address at politicallyincorrectknitters@gmail.com, I can get this to you. And the winner of the end of Knit Long and Prosper, man, I had a good time. I hope you all had a good time. And the winner of Knit Long and Prosper is Lefty Knits and Mirror Crochet. So again, I did message you through the email, but if you could reply to me with your address and I can get you, hang on.
And here's our email address in case anybody's confused.
Yes.
Because sometimes we're confusing.
Yes. We do have the Knit Long and Prosper sock set. This one's mine without the band. There's a nice one with the band somewhere. And the Mystery Mouse Energize. She might still have some of these. I'm not sure. They're very pretty. And let's see. Hang on. I am just covered in stuff, and I apologize. And the bag from Susan of Delightful Works. So yeah, congratulations to the winners. Again, the Knit Long and Prosper is Lefty Knits and Mirror Crochets, and Elizabeth JDY Knits is the one who won the meh.
Yes, congratulations, everybody. Oh, and a Stoppers gift card from Amy. Yep. Sorry, we did
Sorry.
forget to mention that, but thanks. Oh, hey. I don't know what's going on here. All right. All
Hey.
right. So
Excuse
Anne's
me.
got all the things to show off, but because she's got all the things, I'm just going to show you real quick. My Joanne Fabrics is going out of business. It's very sad. I went there today. Everything's already 25% off and picked over. I was pretty sad, but I did get some of this yarn. It's
Mhm.
it's knit and crochet, I guess. It's KC, and this is 100% superwash merino wool. And I really, really liked it. I was gonna make a sweater with it, but it's single ply, so now I don't know because
Mhm.
single ply is not great for sweaters. But I
Yeah,
got
it's not
these.
too hardy. It's very soft though.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know why I don't knit sweaters. I wear this one all the. I mean, I crocheted this one, but I wear it all the time. I don't know why I don't do it. But and then I was just gonna show you guys a couple of presents I got real quick because that's the other thing I was gonna do. I was gonna show off the. I got my present from Anne before we left on vacation. And I was going to show the stuff. I have to go get the box though. But when I saw Anne, she gave me more presents because she's cool like that.
Yeah.
So I now own a koozie of Keanu Reeves holding a dog because looking like Jesus. So
Yeah. They're what? Okay, so I brought you the cruisy version. Okay, when I was at MegaCon, the booth across from us had a giant pillar candle. It was all like, religious themed candles, and the giant one was of Keanu Reeves with the beagle from John Wick. But I got you the cozy version. I didn't think that, the candle would necessarily be your jive.
yeah, the candle, yeah. And she also got me these lovely little like yarn cozies. Like everything's a cozy. Apparently I needed some in my
You
life.
need so many cozies. Look
But
at you.
this one's
You with your
like
big sweater. You're a cozy girl.
I am a cozy girl, and it is my big sweater. And every time I wear it to co-op, because we made these at co-op, all the moms whose kids were in my class talk about it because none of their daughters have finished their sweater. And like a lot of them just need like the ribbing
Mhm.
or like to finish seaming them and they won't do it. You know how it is when you get to that part of a project. You're like, I'm done.
Yeah.
But this one, so this one's just lovely and it's small and it has little trees on it, which are super cute. And then this one is Harry Potter themed because that is my life. It is Harry
Oh, yeah.
Potter themed. So there you go. Pretty excellent. But I'm gonna get my box while you talk about your yarns because why not, right?
Oh, yeah. And I have a lot of yarns to talk about.
I know. So we
So
got time. So
we do. Well, to start, because everything is in a pile around me, to begin, before I talk about yarns, I'm going to say, So, a lot of people have asked about this pattern. It is the sparrow cowl. Ta-da! I've made this several months ago. I made a couple other of these. I gave one to Devin of Knitty McPurley, which she showed on her podcast, which is very nice of her. And this pattern is going to be in the next issue of Blocked magazine. I hope. I submitted it. I hope it will be. I'm sure it will. But yeah, so it's a cowl pattern. It is knit flat, starting here, going out, so it can be whatever size, or if you're using a different yarn, that will be different. So it's a cowl pattern. It is a matching beret, and it is mitts. And with my yardage, 2 skeins of DK yarn is enough for the hat and the cowl and just the wrist portion of the mitts. So you will need more yarn than that overall if you want to complete the whole pattern. But yeah. Well, thank you, Jania. I'm sure you will. I sent it, ahead of deadline and everything. But yeah, I'm really happy. I hope everybody likes it. But yeah, so that's coming out. And I've got more people asking me about it because, like I said, Devin had it on her show. And yeah, so that's important thing number one. Sparrow cowl. That's that. Sorry.
No, you're good. I had to get up and let the cat in. She could, since we've been gone, she can't stand it when we're not with her. So
Yeah.
it's understandable.
It is understandable. But yeah, where else to begin? Here. I will begin with these. So Miss Travel Lori gave me her shawl, which is very cool.
It is very cool.
Here. She said it was really big, and she's like, I don't wear shawls this big, but I live
It's
in the
really
frozen
big.
tundra.
Holy moly, that's a giant shawl.
Huge.
I mean, it's gorgeous, but
Yeah. Sorry, I keep trying
also,
to.
how does one? I mean, that's more like a blanket.
Yeah,
It's
but
lovely.
hang on, we can do this thingy.
Kitten.
This guy. Yeah. But yes, it is very shawl-like and very big.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I wanted to show that off a bit because yeah, I love it.
Amy.
Yes, it is.
Yes. Standing there by the window, waiting for your love to return.
Yes.
Show
When
off.
will my man be back from the war?
Hi, baby.
But so yes, so that's very nice.
Mm-hmm.
And got to see the lovely Caro Brown, and sorry, my apologies for my reaches. And her husband made me yarn bowls, but they're 3D printed. I don't know if you can see, but this one has like a little, like it has a kind of a sheen to it, but it's like a slightly sparkly green undertone.
Okay.
Or it doesn't really pick up, but there's that.
A little bit, you can see it.
Yeah.
Oh, and then there's a gold one.
And there's a gold one.
For when you're feeling festive.
Exactly. For holidays, special occasions. Not the everyday Illuminati meetings. That's more, black standard. But for the banner events, the big holidays.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, these are very cool.
Okay. Very good.
Good. And Carol also
Hanukkah skull. Yes, because we all need one.
Exactly. You need a Hanukkah skull sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And Caro also gave me a shawl.
How funny.
So I'm very shawled up. And this one's in cotton, which is really nice.
Oh.
I don't wear a lot of cotton. So it's a...
No, I don't either.
But, I don't know, it's lovely. I grabbed this one going to Florida directly after because, Anyways, I love the colors too.
Oops. That's really nice. Those are right up your alley. I like, it starts with the brown, tan, goes into a blue. Yeah, that's you.
Yeah. It's very pretty. But
yeah, very cool.
Saying that.
Baby.
But yeah, I didn't show off from the Knitty McPurley event before because all my stuff was here. But hang on.
Yeah, because Anne got home from Knitty McPurley and then directly went to Florida because she is a jet-setting United States traveler.
Insane person, actually.
Yeah.
I don't think I have recovered yet. But yeah.
We haven't. One of my kids slept 12 hours last night. Still so tired.
Good idea.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I got my bag, and then Chicken Lady gave me a pin.
Nice.
Oh, it's so nice to see her.
Mm-hmm.
But the swag bag stuff that she gave everybody a mini set.
Ooh, those are. They remind me of conversation hearts.
Yes.
Very cool.
There's that. Krista of Sweet Mountain Crafts also had a mini skein in there.
Cute.
It's very fun and bright. And she also did and Woolen Works. Had a little cozy in there.
And Woolen Works is who got all my things are from too.
Yeah. And they had Pendleton bags there, but those sold out like nobody's
I don't know
business.
what those are.
Pendleton is a very specific wool plaid.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, and little chapstick and, you know, little
Mm-hmm.
deodorant for putting on your dry hands.
Deodorant?
Well, it's a deodorant container, but it's a
It's a
balm,
lotion.
really.
Oh, yeah, and Anne gave me a balm, but I put it somewhere where I can't put my hands on it at the moment.
Mhm.
I don't know where it went. It'll turn up in a minute.
Will happen. But yeah,
Oh,
Delightful Works bag with
cute.
a little murdog.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a stitch marker swap.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I knew about, I'm saying okay like I didn't know. I knew about this because Anne's stitch markers were cool because she told me about it and I said, excuse me. And I
yeah.
took care of it for her.
I know. Well, originally I was like doing by hand, like these little tassel things. I'm like, I don't have slave labor fingers. This sucks. And then you're like, why are you doing that? Put something with our logo on it. We're a podcast. And I'm like, oh yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
right.
Oh, yeah. So I got them printed and sent to her in time to go to the retreat.
Uh-huh.
And it would have been cheaper had we planned it. But it's us. So there was no planning. Hi.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. See,
There's never any. Anne and I don't know what we're doing. Although I am building a website. So, hey, that's going to be a thing.
But anyways, there's so many stitch markers. Like I have them divided between two things, but I've already found myself like, you know, like there's little Sasquatch ones and little stars and rocket ships and little chicken from Chicken Lady and all these things. And I find myself like pairing them off and sticking them in different knitting bags. And I'm like, oh, well, this is a floral knitting bag. I need all the floral stitch markers for that one. I'm trying to be more like Denise every day.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get there. I'll get there.
Someday, yes.
It's in the long run, but it'll happen. So yeah, there's that.
That's fun. Do you have any of our new stitch markers to show off? Or are they not around? Okay. Because we're going to start putting them in packages probably.
Yes.
And
Yes,
so, like, special package winning chosen people are going to get them.
That's right. And so it's just to describe, it's a larger wooden disc with our logo on it. And I'm like, this is really more of a keychain size thing than a stitch marker, but also, use it at your discretion. It's your thing.
Once again, when you're running late and trying to get something printed, you say, "Oh, good, you can make it. Thank you."
Yeah, no, they're awesome, but like I'm like, oh, that's kind of large. It's like $50 size. I'm like, okay, we're gonna,
progress keeper. I don't know.
And you can read our name
all the your bag. I mean, there's so many things you can do with it.
Perfect.
I like to have things hanging off my name bag, like I'm cool. So, it's a thing.
Anyways, would you like me to break in the middle of my yarn showing off to show off your thing?
What thing?
Didn't you go to get a box?
Oh yeah. It's the migraine. I'm sorry. Okay, so my box has already been opened and pillaged by my people, but I had to steal it back from them. Because my husband, I love him, but for some reason he does this thing where if it's addressed to me, he will still open it. Like at Christmas time or his birthday, I will say, I am getting packages for your event. Please don't open them. And it's not malicious. He just is like taking care of the cardboard and you know what I mean? So he opened it and then everybody was in it except me. I was the last one. So I got a box from Anne. She hasn't gotten hers yet. She will though. I got this sweet little planner. It's very cute. And it's actually like I use one of those small backpack purses. So this is like the perfect size for me to write down my life stuff and my cleaning and what I have to do. So it's very cute. And it's not overly concerned, which I also appreciate.
Yes.
So
it's very straightforward. These are the days.
I'm just listing. Yeah. And I did not let my family open these yet, and they were very upset. She gave us a package of Jamie Dodgers because my kids are obsessed with them. So Hey, rain delay people from Daytona. Gotta have the purse planner. Yeah, well, I have the purse planner because I clean houses, and so like I will schedule the next clean as I'm leaving, and if I don't have a planner in my purse, then all bets are off.
Yeah.
So here is a 16-month Harry Potter calendar. It looks like it's herbology and whatnot. There's little spells on the back. Very happy and fun. I don't think the kids realized what this was because it wouldn't have stayed in the box.
Yeah.
Know what I mean? But that's okay.
Mhm.
So it's super cute. I'll have to open it. Oh, and it has posters in it too. Ooh. Oh, that's fun. Okay. And then the reason that this had to be opened first off anyway was because my calendars were in there. So I got my calendar finally.
But see, But see, you will know the days of the week. That's what this box is telling you. You know exactly.
I apparently
I think you had a problem with that, but apparently, like my subconscious is like, this is it. She needs to know what day it is.
I need to know all the days of the week. I think something fell out when I brought it over here. I'll have to double check. And then this is not a days of the week thing. This is about the Gilmore Girls. And so there's a couple of things in here that I've actually wanted to make. So that's pretty fun. And I haven't rewatched it in a while, but a couple of years ago I watched Gilmore Girls for the first time. I was slightly obsessed with it, and I really, really like it. And I really, really like, a couple of the characters, and it's super fun. So I got that. Thank you. And then there were these guys from Polka Dot Shop, and I think that they're for my kids, but that's okay.
You can steal them yourself.
I mean, I could just cuddle them. I have this random side note, right? Little side story. I have this thing. My husband bought me, I don't know, how long have we been together? 15 years? He bought it like 15 years ago. And the kids are always trying to steal it from me. And I don't know why. It's just, so maybe I'll just put it with this guy and I can have a couple of things of my own. And this is back before like making the animals was like a thing. You can tell it's a little bit, but it's cute.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I'll put it with them maybe, and then it'll be mine. But look at how cute these guys are, and they're little buddies, and they like are friends. It's very nice. And then I think I did drop something. Let me just double check real quick.
Okay.
I did. And then there is this skein of yarn, and it is from a family farm, and it's a marled sport weight, and it's very lovely, and it's very soft. It's caramel, which I don't know what that is, but it's soft, I guess. So look at it. It's very pretty, and it's like Tweety, which is a very Anne thing.
And I brought you brown yarn, and you're like, this is nice, but also it's brown yarn. I'm like, well, it's natural.
It's very nice. And I'm not against brown yarn, but it may turn into something for my husband because he enjoys wearing brown yarn. I made him a brown hat that he wears all the time, but it's out of fisherman's wool, so it's super itchy. So this would be much cozier for him.
Oh yeah, that's much softer stuff. That's much softer stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So you never know. So that's the deal. So thanks, Anne, for my awesome box.
Oh, you're welcome.
I loved it. I'm going to open the Jammy Dodgers before my kids know that I've opened them. So that's okay. So yes, that was my box. Now I can put these things in my purse and whatnot. It'll be excellent. I have to hang up my calendar somewhere. I don't know where. Who's February again?
Morgan.
Oh,
mine is up there. But you can't.
Oh, yeah.
So you can go up a little.
Morgan looking fabulous. Whoop, whoop. So, fun stuff. Thanks, Anne. It was a good time. So, okay. So back to your, Anne's got all the knitting stuff going on.
No, I have all of the yarn stuff. Oh. So, okay, also at the Carrie Smith meetup, I saw Liz of You and Dye Yarn,
Mm-hmm.
and which she isn't dying anymore, so this is like special magical unicorn stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I believe this is her blue jeans colorway, but
It looks
anyways,
like it. That's what I would have called it.
isn't that beautiful? And it's got this lovely, I mean, it's blue, yes, but there's that indigo purple undertone to it. It is so elegant. I'm not sure what to make of it because they have 4 skeins, which four
Ooh.
skeins is like, do I go massive shawl? Do I go sweater? I could go sweater. Maybe I
You
could
could
go
go
sweater.
sweater. You could color work something if you don't have enough, or stripe
Yeah.
it.
Anyways, it's so pretty. It's such a it's a
It's
good
one of those colors though too that's classic. So you could put something else with it and it would still be like chill. It wouldn't be.
and yeah. And I'll show the other yarn. I'm like, ooh, maybe one of these is similar-ish
Mhm.
enough. But so I found I'll bring this over. So I found when I was like shopping because there was vending at the Knitting
Mhm.
McPurley thing that when I was shopping, the stuff that I was attracted to most was is like, oh yeah, and this is an extra skein left over from an old, knit along. This is a
I
themed
always
thing.
do that.
I know, and I'm like, oh, I remember that, and I didn't get in on it, so I can get in on it now. Like I got the Delightful Works bag that was Holly did now I'm forgetting the name of it. I believe it was Cheryl's design, and she did a sweater knit along for Cheryl's design, and Holly did yarn to go with it, and she had it in a couple different colorways. And one of them was Little House on the Prairie, and
I
they had
remember that.
bags to match each one. So yeah, so I got the bag.
Cool.
And this is a little bag that Wendy gave me with all of the Washington State stuff.
Cute.
Yeah, she's got like a little one knits little stitch marker because she's on it. Wendy is a very put together person. She's very cool. You didn't know.
Mhm. Did
Um,
I just stumble upon a conservative knit and crochet channel? You sure did.
you
We
did.
usually talk about politics, but today Anne was at a knitting retreat a couple weeks ago, so it's a lot of yarn. This is way more
Okay,
yarn than we usually are, actually.
I
But
know.
that's okay.
This is normally if we get yarn, I'm like, woohoo! I have 2 skeins, and now I'm like, I'm just sitting in this pile of
Yeah,
yarn.
the
It's
the
really
the
great, but
cover
I'm sitting in a
picture,
pile of yarn.
yeah, is Anne's all of her yarn.
Uh-huh.
So
But yeah, yeah, and from Miss Sweet Mountain Crafts, Carista, who is amazing. That these
oh,
are
I like them.
this one is the State Fair set, which okay, those purples. And the orange is bright and fun for a color pop too, but those purples.
Mhm.
And then this one was Poison Vial for Amy of Two Sisters and Some Yarn, her Who Done It. And I do believe that she's gearing up to do it again because she's written another story.
Excellent.
So, anyways, but yeah, one of these might go well with the You and Dye yarn. I'm not sure because I mean, this one is purpley, but this has a little bit of blues and purples in it, so
Yeah, that might be fun.
that might do really well.
Ooh, I kind of like it.
Yeah. So
Amy says she's doing another one. She just hasn't written it all yet. Good. That gives me time to read last times.
ah,
I fail. I fail at everything. We know this. Move along.
okay. I'm not sure Neil read it either though, so you can be
Really?
together. I
I
think
find
he
that
said he did.
surprising. He's usually pretty on top of stuff.
Yeah.
I guess the algorithm is smiling upon us. Yes, it'd be super great though if it smiled upon us more often. Spoiler: DK and Neil were the killers because we didn't read it. Oh man, you guys kill me. Okay, sorry, Anne. What else you got?
No, you're fine. No, I was just gonna show off some of Holly's yarn. It's very Valentine's Day. This is Scarlet Pimpernel, which was from another book themed knit along.
I feel like that could go with your blue.
That could also go with my blue, yeah. And this is more of the Count of Monte Cristo yarn, which I actually have some of this already, but this is in DK, and I really, sorry, I just love the colors. I just think that's great.
Pretty.
And
what's up with you wanting more DK yarn all of a sudden? Have you lost your mind?
I don't know. Maybe I just want to get stuff done faster. But
hanging out with me too long.
I know, right? But yeah, and this is fantastic, Mr. Fox.
Ooh,
Yeah,
I didn't know she had that. Was that a one-off?
It may have been a one-off. I'm not sure it was on her website anymore because I'm like, oh yeah, I know. I'm just dropping stuff.
Butterfingers.
I know. I'm like, I don't remember seeing this in her shop, and I think it was one of those like, oh, I have this extra inventory. I'll just bring the extras, and I'm like, I love this extra inventory. Thank you. I'm going to take it with me on my way out.
Yes, that's lovely. Cool.
Anyways, and yeah, I mean, look at that. Look at that.
I like it.
It's very pretty. But yeah, and we also stopped at a little yarn store there and got some reds, and I got the Nightmare Before Christmas book. They also had the Lord of the Rings book, but I thought that the patterns in this one were cooler.
Interesting.
But yeah, big Nightmare Before Christmas fan. And yeah.
And
yes.
And oh, cool. I'm totally interrupting you with something that nobody else knows about.
It's okay. I think that's the end of it.
Cool. So I think I hear Mr. Deplorable out there watching Dune 2 without me.
Oh no.
Probably because I fell asleep during the first one.
What a loss.
I was like, this movie is so bad. The only good thing about it is Timothée Chalamet.
Okay, I will admit that I haven't seen Dune Part 2, mostly because my opinion of Dune Part 1, but I did like the 80s version. I liked it snapped along faster. And also, okay, Dune is weird. It's weird. And you know what? It's awesome that Dune is weird. But having that little bit of 1980s, slightly bad graphics, stings in a Speedo for no reason, that's the weird you need it to be. And like the new one, they're like, oh, we're gonna Vogue magazine this. We're gonna do. I'm like, no. Sting's got to be in Speedo.
Cassie says it was inaccurate to the book, and Iris says it was so disappointing. Well, let me tell you, Dune Part 1 was I fell asleep. That's what happened to me. So
I still think the most accurate portrayal of that movie is like, woohoo, you're hanging out at Terminal 1 at the Phoenix airport. The planes, they go down and they go back up. And wait, we're waiting for people to get off the plane. I got to change outfits to wait for the guy to get off the plane. Okay, he's off the plane. No, wait, we're going somewhere else now. Waiting for the plane again.
Yeah, and I'll admit, I was playing a game on my phone during it. Like, I was not completely invested. But also, like, 2/3 of the way through, I turned to my husband and I'm like, dude, are you really enjoying this? And he's like, why wouldn't I be? And I'm like, because you hate every movie I pick, and at least they have a plot. Like, we're just like wandering around in the sand. What is happening? So anyway. But I can hear him listening to it, and it's funny. That's all.
I mean, I think in order for Dune to work, Patrick Stewart has to be holding a pug while charging into battle. I think that's essential to the story.
Is that in the first one?
It's in the 80s one.
Okay. I know we've been together a while now, and I know back when I started dating him, he made me watch like Conan and
Conan's good.
Other stuff that I don't remember. And then Shelly says, if we have the 25-minute rule, if after 25 minutes we don't like it, that's it. See, this is the problem, though. He enjoyed it after 25 minutes. I wished that I was somewhere else after 25 minutes.
He's like, this is awesome. And you're like, yeah, not really.
And I don't know what this means, but it's because of me and my lack of sci-fi stuff. I'm getting Anakin vibes from DK hating the sand. It's not that I hate the sand, it's just that they're just wandering around out in it. And the worms weren't even cool. Maybe I fell asleep during the cool part. I don't know.
I want to say the worms show up in Dune Part 2, the one you're currently missing.
Okay. Well, I don't think I care enough to go find out. So
give me the cliff notes about the worms. Thanks, honey.
Anakin is Darth Vader. I know that, but I don't know about him hating sand.
No, it was a line from I think Clone Wars about him hating sand. It's coarse and it gets everywhere, and it's been memes, a lot.
Okay, and that one print too likes sci-fi, but hasn't been able to get into Dune. See, I don't do sci-fi. I do a little bit of fantasy, and that's like Harry Potter and things like that. Like I don't do. Although I've got to watch Star Trek. I do have to watch Star Trek.
At least a little bit of Star Trek. If you're like, this is wacky, I can give you like 10 best or maybe 2 best.
Yeah. Okay. So we've talked about a lot of other things. What do you want to talk about? Want to talk about some winning?
Oh, I love winning.
I mean, there's always winning. So
okay. I can't even say personal favorite win because we're winning so much. Because, Doge going into the IRS building is like so great.
I know everybody hates Doge, but it's because they're opening everybody's eyes to stuff, and it's like, oh, and before we get going, can I just say I really like the new press secretary. This week she went into a meeting and she was like, I have receipts. Like, thank you. Thank you for having receipts, lady. So VP Vance's fire speech, I missed that. Anne told me about it, but I was really having a bad migraine. I'm on the tail end, so I can listen to it.
His speech in Munich, that's what I was going to say, was my favorite part of this week. But then again, screw the IRS. That's also, I mean, it's difficult to choose which one we like. But
feel safe. The new press secretary is hot. Well, I'm glad you think so.
See? It's important. It's important. But anyways, JD Vance's speech in Europe. Let's get those words in the right order. It was really good that he goes to the Munich Security Conference and he basically said, when people from other countries come to your country or, Europe as a continent and say what you ought to do, that is irksome to a lot of people. After all, Obama went to England and said you shouldn't do Brexit, which really ticked a lot of people off. And when British people come over here and say stuff, it really ticks them off. So I think that wasn't understood in his speech because he took it from the angle of, hey, this is the security conference. And it's like, and we are coming together in the security conference for our shared ideals, because after all, this was formed during the Cold War, and our shared ideals such as democracy and free speech. So he went down the line and saying, like, there's many people here who applauded Romania canceling their elections and have silenced free speech. And he basically said, don't listen to me. Listen to your people. Your people know how your country ought to be run. So it's like, I want to, America wants to promote and work with free speech, that you cannot block political parties. You cannot block political ideas because that will just break out eventually. That we need to listen to people from different views. You need to at least, even if you disagree, you have to entertain these views. You have to let people talk. And he went down the line with, political parties being undercut in Germany. And he did mention that there was another migrant who rammed his car into a crowd not long before JD took the stage, and he talked about that. But he also said, "Hey, immigration is a problem, and it is the German people who have said immigration is a problem. It's not just hi foreigner, that he really took it to them. And also he took it to them as, you need free speech. You say you believe in free speech. You say this is for democracy, but this is not democratic. It is not democratic to overturn the votes of the people. That is not that, again, opposite of democracy. You can't say democracy, 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 and then screw it over. But saying listen to your people and listen to their problems, saying that with Trump, with Vance, you had a mandate from the people. You cannot, as a country, run against the mandate of the people. In order to get the mandate of the people, to get what the people want done, you need to listen to them and do what they voted for in order to do that. And that was his big speech issue. And it was a fantastic speech. And also that he was, people are like, oh, this is adversarial. It's like, yeah, the EU itself was invented as the people are wrong. We don't listen to the people. And all of the issues in Europe right now are because they don't listen to their people.
Mm-hmm.
So him taking it to them was very Reagan-like, even though, vice president doesn't have as much power as the president, but Trump's backing him and all of that. And it was a great speech.
Yeah, no, I just love it because he just comes out and he talks common sense. Mm-hmm. He's not, trying to act all high and mighty or better than the people. He's out here being like, I'm a regular dude just like you. This is common sense. We're not doing this shit anymore. And it's, it's nice. It's nice that we don't have this. Sorry, words are hard today.
No, and he totally cuts through it and be like, what's your real problem in Europe? You are not listening to your people. Okay, you should listen to your people. Yeah. That he is like, let's cut to the real issue here. Let's not security this, spending this, everything. It's like, okay, sure, we're going to talk about that. It is a security conference. But let's break it down to the real issue.
Yep. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, actual Kiki Miller said she didn't see that much from Pence, and she's from Indiana, and he was their governor. Yeah, and also when Vance doesn't seem like an insecure person. Okay, like not at all. That all right, somebody else is getting the spotlight, somebody else is talking. He doesn't need to be in the spotlight. He doesn't need anything. But when he is completely composed. He does exactly his job, but also he's not pandering. He's not, just saying the right things. He is, again, very much representing the base that this is what we believe. This is our principles. And he's not going to, say nice things just because he's at a European conference. He's not going to pander to anybody's party line. He's like, no, this is how it is.
Well, I feel like he fits well with Trump because they're saying what is true, whether or not people are going to like it. And that's what we need. I'm so tired of all of this, like trying to make everybody happy and shit. No, if you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, we're going to say it. We're going to say, I don't really care, Margaret. We're going to just move along because this is not what we are anymore. And I'm glad.
Yeah. And in a sense, I mean, we have Trump is a straight talker and Vance is a straight talker, but they're coming at it from different backgrounds, obviously, but also different, they're aligned, but they have a different way of looking at things and a different way of dealing with things. And while their policies come together, that they're two very different people. And also, I mean, the contrast between Pence, who was, yes, well, it's like Trump is new to the political stage. He's not conservative, but Pence was the very Romney conservative and the McCain conservative and the Bush conservative. And he was, a trusted old hand to kind of quell the fast moving Trump ticket. And whereas you have Trump, who has has been planning everything he wants to do since, the 2020 election. But you have Vance, which is very, it's the combination of being very conservative, but he doesn't necessarily look at things in, well, certainly not the Romney Bush way of things. That it's a rejection of that while upholding conservative values on what are we doing and what is actually conservative, what are the actual consequences of the policy, and also not being content in talking a big game and doing nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to say immigration, this, and then cut a deal with Democrats later.
Okay. You're right. So I know. So I was on vacation and we just got back middle of last week, and then we had stuff. So I haven't caught up on a lot of things yet. But what do you know what happened here in New York? We went after Hochul and Letitia James, and what do we know what that is? I don't remember. Darn it. Okay, so Letitia James is our terrible migraine makes me not have words. I'm sorry, friends. But yeah, something about Hochul, and I can't wait to see what happens with that. I'm so sorry that I don't have the words today. Pam Bondi. Oh, Pam Bondi is the one who did it? Okay. I'll have to figure out more. Yes. Our cat's name is Clementine, and I am in New York. Anna's in South Dakota, and so she just does whatever the hell she wants to. Nobody cares. It's really lovely for her.
That's great.
But
really cold.
It's really cold here too. I'm so sorry that I just totally lost that train of thought, friends. What else you got, Anne?
Well, just speaking of local governments, that our new governor, since Kristi Noem is off on the border, our new governor, Governor Roden, says that we get fireworks on Mount Rushmore. Yay!
Cool. I want to come see fireworks on Mount Rushmore.
Yeah. Oh, it's gonna be packed. That'll be good.
Yeah, they're suing Kathy Hochul, but I want to know why. I don't remember why. So we'll work that out for next episode so I can tell you about it, because I missed a lot.
I forget if I said on the show or not, because thinking of Kristi Noem, that she's on the border riding a horse, and people like, she's just doing that for like a photo op. I'm like, she has literally always done this. Like, we call her Cowboy Barbie. Like, she is always.
That's so funny.
Since her career has started, she's been doing stuff like that. So
yeah. And we got RFKJ, and we got the one with the gray hair.
Tulsi Gabbard.
Yes. So things are going well.
Yeah. Waiting for Kash Patel.
Yeah, he's still in hearings though, right? Right now?
I think so. So. Pete Hegseth's been doing great.
Pete Hegseth, I love him. And he was the other day, he was like, yeah, Ukraine's not going to be part of NATO. That doesn't make any sense. And like, I might not remember all of the details of everything, but all I know is that they're saying like normal common sense things, and they're saying what they mean, and they're meaning what they say. And I'm just very, very happy about it. Mm-hmm. There's nothing like, oh, well, they said this, so does it mean no, we don't want Ukraine in NATO. You guys don't want them in NATO. No, we're not paying for everything. And you know what I mean? Kelly says she misses Pete on Fox and Friends. He was nice to look at. Well, guess what? He's on all the news channels now, and you can still look at him. So I guess it works out.
Was he nice on Fox and Friends? Sure. He's doing push-ups with the boys now.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I love that Pete renamed Fort Bragg back to Fort Bragg. Yeah.
And it's
So
back to Mount McKinley in Alaska, and we're Gulf of America now. Which, okay, I think Gulf of America is kind of silly, but it is a power play. It's Mexico's like, it's our Gulf, it's our name. Like, no, it's not.
no,
It's
not
ours.
anymore. And there's a reason behind that too, but like I said, words are hard today, so I'll tell you about that another day. um, Unfortunately, there are a lot of women wearing blue on Wednesdays to fight the patriarchy.
I
I
thought on
didn't hear
Wednesdays
about
we
that.
wear pink. Apparently, are we in mourning? I don't get it.
Um, I don't know. Apparently, it's a thing. Maybe it's like the blue bracelets that everybody was so mad at them getting. It's hard to say. Yes, I'm with you, Amy. Thank you very much. On Wednesdays, we wear pink. Duh. So only one map will need to be changed. Gulf of the Americas. I don't know. And Tara says that she didn't know women were doing that. She'll have to wear another color on those days. I agree. Don't
I don't
remove
know that it's I don't know if it's a big enough thing that it'll be like, oh, you're wearing blue for the thing. Like, yeah, no.
Yeah,
I
I
know.
don't think enough people know about it, so it's fine. Blue hurts white men's eyes. uh, I don't understand. Instead of wearing blue, like if you don't like what's going on, why not just like actually do something about it? Like wearing a blue bracelet or wearing blue, like what's that going to actually do? Is it just performative? Is that the deal?
I
I'll wear
guess.
my Maha shirt that day.
I mean, Amy's got to be like pom poms after RFK Jr.'s in. She's got to be
Yeah.
like ecstatic.
Amy, hopefully you can come on Tuesday so we can talk about RFKJ and you can fangirl. Um,
I'm excited though. I hope. I mean, a lot of our health problems is through regulation and through promoting unhealthy stuff for us. So just like deregulating all of it, just let it go.
I was just looking at something today that said childhood leukemia is generally caused by repeated exposure to formaldehyde. And then where do kids get exposed to formaldehyde? Because that's kind of a weird thing. Well, guess what? It's in a lot of the vaccines. And childhood leukemia has gone up in recent years. And so it's like, yeah. I'm not okay, we all know I'm somewhat of a conspiracy theorist, but not a total one. But there are some things like that that make you go, right? So vaccinating the meat, I don't know. Don't fangirl. Okay, yeah. Well, we got things to talk about with RFKJ. I'll do some research. I'll have slept more, and the headache the words will come back. It'll be good. So what else, Anne? You got more? We good?
Well, I
It's
mean,
not conspiracy if it's true, right? That's the thing.
no, it's no that was a big thing. We're winning a lot. We're having a great time. And hi, Annie in the chat. But other stuff, I mean, we got some e-girl drama, but
What?
some e-girl drama.
I don't know what that is. Do I?
Well, other I mean, the other stuff is just it's stupid Twitter things, but
Oh, okay.
um that conservative quote, big quote, super big quote, um commentator Ashley St. Clair just on Valentine's Day put out a statement and said that she gave birth to Elon Musk's baby 5 months ago.
Cool.
And also she's like, and she was all like, and I'm only saying this because the tabloids were going to come out with a story. And she immediately came out with a story with glamour shots of herself in her apartment that apparently Elon Musk pays for. And a lot of people were a lot of other conservative commentators were like, oh, well, congratulations on your baby and everything, which I thought was super weird. I mean, okay, a lot of people are like, oh, because baby was out of wedlock. I'm like, okay, that's an issue. Let's set it over here. It's really weird that she had a baby 5 months ago and nobody knew.
Mhm.
That, I mean, apparently she's like, nobody's checking up on her or seeing her or anything. And that was like, oh, well, I had to keep it all secret. I'm like, I don't think you're really that big of a deal, because I think people would be asking more questions, and that it's weird. Like, she had to talk about it in order for it to be a big deal. There was
Mhm.
no like rumblings of, well, I think she's having Elon Musk's kid and like
Yeah.
whatever. That didn't come out before she said anything. It was weird.
Yeah. You know what I think about it? I don't really give a crap what people do in their personal life. If he's going around having he is one of those guys who has taken the spreading his seed thing very, very literally and has had many, many kids, and that's the thing. Um Selfish Never wants to know, aren't all the mean girls leaving social media because it's no longer a safe space? Correct. Correct. The mean girls went to Blue Sky. So if you want to see stupid mean girl knitting drama, you have to go to Blue Sky now.
And Neil was posting some of that too, and it was funny, like, oh, I see, stuff like Adela going, I see your silence now that Trump is in charge, because she's the super resistance, so
Mhm.
resist.
Yeah.
But now if you don't say that, it's like the argument has moved on so much that it used to be you could be canceled for being a Trump voter, and now the train has gone on without you. And it's like, well, I still see that you're not saying anything against Trump and his evils. I'm like, whatever.
Mhm.
Whatever.
Mhm. So Blue Sky is some sort of, isn't it a Chinese thing? And it's a Twitter knockoff. So
I don't know that Blue Sky is Chinese. It's not impossible, but Red Note
right.
was
Oh,
that.
maybe that's the one I was thinking of. Blue makes me feel unsafe. Well, I'm sorry. I guess you can't go over there then, Miss Sheepy. It's a liberal Twitter knockoff where they all started talking about pedophilia within the first week. Why? What? Sometimes these things make me curious as to what the hell is happening.
And other times you're like, eh.
Yeah. I don't know. There's a lot of weird stuff going on, and I don't care. This is the deal. I'm not married to Pete Hegseth. I don't care if he's having an affair with anybody or he slept with somebody while he was married. I'm not married to Elon Musk, so therefore I don't care. I'm not married to Trump, so I don't care. I'm Do you see the thing here?
Hmm.
Those are personal choices that people make, and if they are making those choices, okay, but it doesn't matter. If they're doing what they're supposed to be, like all of a sudden we found out that Nancy Pelosi's, well, not all of a sudden, because it was probably always public knowledge, but she's worth $202 million and she makes $200,000 a year or $220,000 a year. So, that's the stuff I want Elon talking about. And if him having multiple sexual partners is how he gets there, I don't really care. That's
Well, well, I think, all right. So it's like in the broader sense is like, yeah, whatever. But also in the
I'm sorry. Oh, Amy, you said no squares and I couldn't take it. I'm sorry, friends.
well, no, but it's like, is either Elon or Miss Sinclair like particularly conservative? No. Is it kind of weird all the people not okay, not saying that someone has a baby, you're not like, congratulations on the baby. But it's the the drama, the spurging out, the wacko stuff. Alex Jones is supporting this, and it's like, you have an affair with your mistress, and apparently, she's unhappy with the payout or thought that this was a longer term relationship because she's going public with it. This is a very old story.
Mhm.
And there's a difference, but not to go all middle class morality here, but there is a difference between like it being a traditional relationships is like having a mistress is a pretty old story, guys. It's very
Mhm.
old fashioned. But is it part of conservative values? No. It's a choice. It's not a good choice, but if you are the
Oh,
yeah. Also, that
no squares in unit. I don't know why that's so funny to me. I'm
and
sorry.
and also, sorry, this is just more me being petty, but it's like Elon's very particular uh taste in the early 2000s, and Ashley St. Clair, she doesn't dress like this, but she dressed like this in her, expose about having Elon's kid, is that she's wearing this sort of see-through looking black corset thing and the leather choker with the jewel. Again, very early 2000s, slightly emo edgy, which I'm like, you that's not in style now. And it's
No, it's
clearly
coming
what
back.
Elon is into later. And then you're doing these glamour photos in this. Well, I'm like, oh, this is a baby come back. What's
Yeah.
going on here?
Yeah. Apparently Pete and his wife were on a break. We were on a break. No, it's my point is I don't care. I don't care if they were on a break. I don't care if they had a I don't care if RFKJ had the affair with the reporter that I don't care. Don't care. Because that's not what we hired him to do. He can do what he wants to do as long as everybody agrees, and his wife might not like it, but too bad. Like that's not our problem. And yeah. So, that's what I know about it.
Anyways, but yeah, it was mostly okay. And the story on Twitter, again, Twitter is a silly place, but it
Mhm.
was simultaneously the let's talk about Elon's new love child. And then on the other hand, there was this gal called Patriarchy Hannah. Okay, neither Miss Sinclair or Patriarchy Hannah were people that I followed or interacted with. And I
Oh.
understand, if y'all are disappointed in this, but apparently Patriarchy Hannah is an entirely fake person. That she had
Cool.
made up this story of like abuse as a child, and she made up her husband, and she made up homeschooling her 14 adopted kids, which sounds silly to say now, but just like this whole string of lies thing. And I don't know, it's very true crime. I'm sure there'll be a great documentary about it later.
Mhm. I don't know. But what I want to know is who has the time to do that? I'm too busy like having my life. Maybe that's the problem.
Well, she had a podcast and a book and everything, and had people on the podcast without ever showing her face. And again, total fake husband, total fake online life. Um,
Weird.
yeah,
Yeah. So,
super be
I
crazy.
don't know.
Anyway,
That's
so yeah, that's like the TLC drama portion of the podcast, was everyone hanging out on Twitter going, "Ooh, what's the news?" Then one of Elon's previous dalliances was out there posting photos of the loves of my lives with her two young kids, and Elon's mother was like, "Oh, how great!" Like, y'all are.
yeah, I don't know. And something was going on with Bernie and onesies. I missed that too. I promise guys I will listen to more news.
I think that was during the RFK Jr. Hearings, that the onesies thing.
Yeah. But if you missed it last week, I was in Florida.
Mhm.
And then I had a surprise guest because Anne also was in Florida. And then you should have seen it. I went out and got her. My kids didn't know where I went. And I went out and got her. I brought her in, and my kids were like, ah! It was really funny. Um, and it was super excellent. But then we had to drive home from Florida. And then we had to go to co-op. because I do homeschool my kids, but I don't have 14 of them. I only have 2.
Yeah.
And so
They're very real, non-fake children with your
yes,
very
yes,
real,
Anne has
not
met
so
them, even though
gifted.
I don't let you guys know about them. Well, I mean, I let you know about them,
I've
but I don't
seen
let
them
you see them.
there.
I actually, one of them probably would have left with Anne had we allowed them to. Because every time I looked for that kid while Anne was with us, they were holding Anne's hand, which is
Mm.
nice. It's good
Which
to
is
know your
cute.
favorite, right? It's fun.
Yeah.
um, who's gonna infiltrate the New Lib social? Neil's already
Good
there.
job.
Neil's been there. Neil, do you think that Neil would let this pass?
No.
Um,
It's like if you want to join him in some reporting, I'm sure he'd be happy to.
yeah, yeah.
Have a
I
buddy
mean,
out there.
extra help is always good. Um, but I'm about ready to go back to taking my nap. You know what I did this morning though, before I felt too terrible again? Because I could tell I had a really bad migraine yesterday, and this morning it was kind of there. And so this morning DK was really thoughtful and started soup. So I'll just have to strain it and put noodles in later, and it'll be delicious, and my family will be fed. So I'm pretty stoked about that.
Nice. Good job, Morning DK.
I know. The other day, morning DK was bitch though, and started doing the sheets. And then at like 7 o'clock at night, I had to do the sheets. I had to make the beds, and I was not happy with her. I don't know what that bitch does sometimes, but
I don't know. Thinking you'll have more energy later. You don't. It's okay.
yeah, no, it's never that way. But, and I know Anne, it's Sunday. We don't usually do Sundays because Anne likes to hang out with the family after church, like go figure. Our church was canceled today, though. We had so much ice that they canceled it. So, yeah.
Yeah.
But we'll be back on Tuesday,
For
6
knitting
Eastern.
wars.
Yep, live from the Knitting Wars. It'll be us and someone else, at least. We'll find out. Um, Morning DK has it in for sometimes. Sometimes she does well, but other days she does not have my best interests. It's very sad. Um, so Neil's deep undercover is a black lesbian. I mean, obviously, what else would he be? So catch us on Tuesday at 6 Eastern. We'll be doing something, and we'll be back next weekend, and it'll be super cool.
Yeah.
Sunday Amy and Monday Amy are 2 very different Amy's. Exactly. This is what I'm saying. It's not the same. So, oh, Cheeky Mare, I'm sorry you've been sick. I hope you feel better. I'm going to take a good nap, and then I'm going to be better finally, I think.
Mhm.
It's on the tail end. So, we'll see you Tuesday. Thanks for coming. Have a good rest of your weekend, friends.
All right.
All
Enjoy
right,
the
bye.
windy.